Hey guys, just a quick video about your learning activity. And without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Chapter 3, sketch the graphs of each of the following. When you're sketching a graph, you need to show some key features. Okay. So key features are a few things about quadratics. One of it is the turning point. The turning point. The other one would be the intercepts. Okay, so please make sure when you're graphing your quadratic, your parabola, you should always include turning point and the intercepts. Okay, the first one, part A, y equals negative x squared plus 8. So we know this can be approached in two ways. We can use transformation. So we can graph using transformation. So we know negative x squared would be the reflection of y equals x squared. So something like this. And then you just need to plus 8. Plus 8 means your graph have to move upward for 8 units. So your y-intercepts becomes 8. All right, I can move this now. I can remove this now. Oh. Okay. So this will be our final answer. Not quite. We still need to figure out the intercepts because we need to figure out those ones. Your x-intercepts. Okay. To find x-intercept, we need to make y equals 0. So 0 equals negative x squared plus 8. All right. Rearrange, we'll get x squared equals 8. So therefore, x equals plus or minus square root of 8. Also, please don't forget square root of 8 is equal to 2 root 2. All right. I asked everybody to remember that. It's very commonly used. Square root of 8 equals 2 root 2. And the first one has been graphed. Okay. This is graphing by transformation. And some people might like doing it using turning point. Using the turning point form. Okay. The turning point form of a quadratic would be y equals a bracket x minus h squared plus k. All right. So to use turning point form, you need to identify the turning point. So the equation y equals negative x squared plus 8. That's like negative bracket x minus 0 squared plus 8, where your turning point is at 0, 8. All right. Since the dilation factor is negative, so okay, let's look at your turning point 0, 8. I think it's a negative, so a negative dilation factor. So your graph is a sad face. Okay. All right. Of course, you have to go through the same process of finding x-intercepts by letting y equals 0. All right, that's part A, and then we look at part B. So we have the experience of doing part A, so and then part B will be very, very similar. So you find your turning point at 3, negative 5. All right, let's find your turning point. So it's right there, right here. Okay. Right. 3, negative 5. Yes. And now it's the dilation factor is positive, so it's a happy face. Something like this in this direction. So let's find your x and y intercepts. So letting x equals 0, y equals to 3 square. Negative 3 square is the same as 3 square. Anyway, let's make it consistent. Negative 3 bracket square minus 5. That's 9 minus 5, 4. So when x equals 0, y equals 4. All right, to find your x-intercept by letting y equal 0. So letting y equal 0, and you have 5 equals x minus 3 bracket square. Okay. Oh, sorry, I skipped one step. Okay, maybe it's better to show all the steps. Okay, so by letting y equal 0, you have 0 equals bracket x minus 3 square minus 5. And plus 5 for both sides. 5 equals bracket x minus 3 square. Inserting this here with the perfect square, we always do unsquaring instead of expanding the bracket. If you expand the bracket, you're gonna make the situation worse. So just unsquare both sides. You have plus or minus square root of 5 equals x minus 3. Okay, and then plus 3, you have plus or minus square root of 5 plus 3 equals x. And now here's a question. We've got two answers for x. One is x1 equals plus root 5, which is just root 5 plus 3, and then x2 would be negative root 5 plus 3. Okay, root 5 plus 3 is obvious because it's definitely going to be a positive number, so bigger than 3. So probably here 3 plus root 5. And then now here's a question: negative root 5 plus 3. You locating your second x-intercept, it could be negative or positive. We don't know. We don't really know. Okay. What you can do is just put in your calculator. Negative root 5. So shift at this sign. The answer here. So negative. Let me do it clear. Negative. Shift index notation give you. Didn't work. Shift index notation give you the square root. So square root of 5 plus 3. Making a set decimal, as you can see, it's a positive number. So somewhere here. Okay. All right, and then you connect them using a smooth curve. Here you go. You've got your parabola. Of course, you need to label it from here. Negative 5 plus negative root 5 plus 3. All right. Part C, I'm just gonna show you the answer. Part C. Okay, so part C is very similar to part B, very, very similar. Except that's a minus. We're looking at the sad face. All right, this is minus. So the dilation factor is negative. All right, turning point is turning point equals negative 3, 5. Okay, let's locate it. Negative 3, 5. It's a sad face, something like this. All right, let's find it. Y-intercepts. I'm going to speed up a little bit. All right. Obviously, I'm using a laptop. It took me a lot more space. So to make x equal 0, make x equal 0, we have y equals 5 take away 0 plus 3 bracket square. That would be negative 4. So when x equals 0, y equals negative 4. All right, let's make y equal 0. Make y equal 0. And then, this one, y becomes 0. So if you add the, move this to the other side, you flip the sign. So that's going to be x plus 3 bracket square equals 5. All right, unsquared plus or minus root 5. So x equals negative 3 plus or minus root 5. Okay, so -3 minus root 5 is definitely negative. So somewhere here. And now what about -3 plus root 5, square root of 5? And this is gonna be still gonna be negative because root 5 actually remember is roughly 2.236. So it's less than 3. So it's gonna be a number less than 0. Of course, you can use your calculator to check that. So make this as minus, and root 5 make it a positive. Okay, change to decimal. That's a negative number. Okay. So using a smooth curve. There you go. So you've got -3,5. Okay. All right. Okay, forgot that one. So that would be -3 plus root 5. Okay, part D, y equals x squared minus x minus 8. It's a trinomial. We should always check your last term, -8. Thinking about two numbers multiplied to -8, multiplied to get -8, and added to -1. Impossible. So yeah, we're just gonna do the completing the square. If trinomial way did not work, we just do completing the square. Let's erase the. Okay, so complete the square. Y equals x minus, the coefficient is -1, so -1/2 square. Take away this number, 1/2 square. All right, -8. Carry the -8 at the back. And then we have x minus 1/2 square. -1/2 square, that's -1/4. -1/4, 8 is like 32 quarters, so minus 33 quarters. Okay. And remember, this question is asking us to graph. So in this form, it's awesome. This form is, if you still remember, this is your turning point form. So it's pretty awesome. Oh, it's pretty awesome. So we can just start from there. All right. When x equals 0, using the original equation, give you -8 for the, when x equals 0, this is gone, this is gone. -8 would be a y-intercept. And then turning point is half and -33/4. 33/4 is slightly smaller than -8. So -33/4. And then 1/2. All right. All right, let's find the x-intercept. Letting y equals 0, we have x minus 1/2 bracket square minus 33/4. So rearrange 33/4 equals x minus 1/2 bracket square. Unsquare both sides, square root of 33 plus or minus over 2 equals x minus 1/2. Therefore, x equals 1/2 plus or minus square root of 33/2. Okay, so you have 1 square root of 33/2 plus 1/2. And 1/2 take away that number is definitely negative because square root of 33 is bigger than 1. Bigger than square root of 1. So you're taking away a much larger number. All right. Using smooth curve. Connect them. Connect all the key features. 1/2 take away square root of 33/2. Okay, so that was question 1. Let's move on to question 2. So question 2, using the quadratic formula to solve each of the following. Okay, speaking of quadratic formula, so ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. When your quadratic equation is in its standard form or polynomial form, where you could always use the quadratic formula x equals -b plus or minus square root of your discriminant, b squared minus 4ac over 2a. All right. So this is going to be So quadratic formula, the full name for quadratic formula is the general quadratic formula, which means you can apply this formula to any kind of quadratics. All right. So if you are not a big fan of completing the square, and the question does not require you to solve one equation, one quadratic equation using completing the square, it's not compulsory for you to do it. Compulsory for you to do completing the square. You can just go to the general quadratic formula, this big one, straight away. All right. Okay, let's identify. To apply this formula, most important thing is you need to identify A, B, and C. So A would be the coefficient of x squared, that's 1. B would be the coefficient of x, -6. And C would be the constant term, -2. And therefore, x equals negative b, and be careful, that's -6, so negative b, 2 minus will make a positive, plus or minus square root of b squared, so -6 squared, minus 4 times a is 1, times -2, over 2 times 1. So that would be 6 plus or minus, negative b is -6 squared, 36, minus 4 times -2, so that's plus 8 over 2. So that's 6 plus minus 36 plus 8 would be 44. 44 is 4 times square root of 11. Okay, a bit of simplifying there. So 6 plus minus 2 root 11 over 2. Of course, divided by 2, 3 plus minus square root of 11 would be the final answer. All right. Of course, if you've got your calculator, you can check your answer simply by solving this equation. So solve, we've got x squared minus 6x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so that's, here it is. We got it right. 3 plus or minus square root of 11. Okay, let's move on. 2x squared minus 3x minus 7. All right, a is the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of x. C is the coefficient, the constant term. Okay, so x equals negative b plus minus b squared minus 4 times 2 times -7 over 2 times 2. So that would be positive 3 plus or minus -3 squared, which is 9, minus 4 times -7, that's 8 times 7, 56. So plus 56 over 4. Let's keep going. 3 plus minus 9 plus 56 would be 65. Square root of 65 over 4. Can I simplify square root of 65? 65 can be factorized as 5 times 13, and they're all prime numbers, so in both prime numbers, we cannot simplify it. All right, let's check your answer quickly. So solve 2x squared minus 3x minus 7 equals 0. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so if you make this separate to two fractions, that would be the same as the answers in the calculator. Okay, question 3. A rectangle has a perimeter of 80 meters, and the square of the length of the diagonal is 1000. Find its dimension. Word problems. It's always a good idea to draw a diagram. So let's have a rectangle. Actually, let's put it here. A rectangle. Okay, so let's say it's x by y. All right, something like this. And I can express my, the perimeter is 80, so perimeter would be 2 times of x plus 2 times of y. And we also know the diagonal length is 1000, so that just means x squared plus y squared equals 1000 squared using the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, that's 1000. That's a right angle triangle. All right, now, what are we looking for? Find its dimensions. So we need to find what x and y are. Okay, P is 80. Okay, right. The perimeter is 80, so 80 equals x plus y. And of course, this can be simplified as 40 equals x plus y. Okay. Okay, so one of the best way to do this might be these simultaneous equations might be using substitutions. So 40 equals x plus y can be rearranged as y equals 40 minus x. Okay, so you're substituting y equals 40 minus x into the second equation, we have x squared. So subbing y equals 40 take x, we have x squared plus 40 take x bracket square equals 1000 square. All right, now let's expand the bracket. X squared plus 40 squared, which is 1600, minus 80x plus x squared equals 1000 square. Yeah, that's a very large number. Then just double check the units. I didn't mention the units. All right, I have to assume that's meters. Okay, let's keep going. So this will be, yeah, let me double check. Meters. Diagonal is 1000. We'll assume that's meters. Okay. So that's right. So 1000. That would be a million. Yeah, did I read the question correctly? So page. Yes, I didn't. That's why I feel like I'm not on the right track because 1 million is huge. It's a huge number. Okay, so I read the question again. The square of the length of the diagonal is 1000. So the diagonal is actually not 1000. It's actually square root of 1000. All right, sorry about this. Let's change this to just 1000 because square root of 1000 square equals 1000. Okay. Now let's change this back to 1000. This becomes 1000. All right, let's simplify. X squared, which becomes 2x squared, minus 80x, 1600, 1000, make it 600, equals 0, divide by 2. All right, and trinomials, we always check last term, 300. Somehow realize the answer is just going to be minus 30 and minus 10 because they added to minus 40. So x minus 30 times x minus 10 equals 0. Okay. All right. Now, okay. So x equals 30 or 10. Let's find the corresponding y. For x equals 30, we know y equals 40 minus x. So y equals 40 minus 30, that's 10. And for y equals 10, for x equals 10, for x equals 10, y equals 40, take away 10, that's 30. Okay, so it's the dimension, doesn't matter which way you go, the dimensions is always 10 by 30. All right, this is your answer. All right, next question. Question 4, a parabola that has its vertex at the point with coordinate -1, 6 passes through the point 2, 10. Find the equation of the parabola. Okay, given turning point, the vertex means turning point. It passes through a point. So this just reminds me of turning point form because we know the turning point. We just need to use one point to determine, turning point form tells you, the turning point, you know h is -1 and k is 6. So the only thing you want to look for is just a, the dilation factor a. Dilation factor a. And using 1 point, 2, 10, and then we can find the dilation factor a. Okay, so let's write the turning point form as a bracket x plus 1, since h equals -1 square plus 6. Okay, it's passes through the point 2, 10, so we sub in the points 2, 10. We have 10 equals a bracket 2 plus 1 square plus 6. All right, let's find a. 10 equals a times 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 squared 9 plus 6. And then therefore a equals, so take away 6, 4 over 9. 4 over 9. Here we go. We find a. Therefore, remember, it's asking you the equation, okay? Don't just stop at a. Therefore, y equals 4 over 9 bracket x plus 1 square plus 6. That's your equation. Question 5. Solving the simultaneous equations for x and y, and please show full workings. Okay, so y equals this and y equals that. Intuitively, you know that's going to be substitution. So x minus 1 equals x squared plus 7x minus 11. Okay, put everything on one side, x squared plus 7x minus 11. So when you are moving around the terms, moving the terms to the other side, you got to flip the sign. So that's going to be negative x and plus y. 1. 0 equals x squared plus 6x minus 11 plus 1 minus 10. Okay, 0 equals x. Okay, trinomial again. Check the last term, negative 10. So I can do 2 times 5, 19 work. And 2 times 5. No, it doesn't work. So we do complete the square or quadratic formulas, whatever suits you better, whatever you find easier. So x plus 3 bracket square minus 3 square minus 10. So x plus 3 bracket square minus 9 minus 10, so minus 19. All right, plus 19. With the perfect square, we unsquare. So plus or minus square root of 19 equals x plus 3. Therefore, x equals negative 3 plus or minus square root of 19. Okay. And to find your y, I wouldn't use the first equation, just use the second equation. Therefore, y equals negative 3 plus or minus square root of 19, take away 1, which is negative 4 plus or minus square root of 19. All right. All right, so we have two pairs of solutions. When x equals negative 3 plus square root of 19, y equals negative 4 plus square root of 19. When x equals to negative 3 minus square root of 19, y equals to negative 4 minus square root of 19. Let's check our answer. So solving simultaneous equation using this symbol from math 1 here. So let's type it in. Y equals x squared plus 7x minus 11. And your next equation is y equals x minus 1. Okay, in the box, typing x comma y, telling the calculator what you're solving for. Okay, so as we can see, the two pairs of solutions, one is this, and the other one is this. All right, I just brought the whole numbers at the front. They are essentially the same. All right, question 6. A lawn A meters long and B meters wide has a path of uniform width, x meters around it. So uniform width means constant width. It's never changed. All right. So as usual with the word problems, diagram is your friend. Let's draw a rectangular lawn. All right, let me use a different color. A minus long, B minus wide. So A, B has a path of uniform X meters around it. So the surrounding bit, it's a lawn, but you're not gonna. It's not inside, okay? Because some people might get confused. It's around. Is it inside? No, use your common sense. It's a lawn, so your pathway would not be in the, the path you have built would not be in the lawn. It's surrounding the lawn. Okay. So, and make sure when it's uniform. So your width of the path is always what is it? X meters. Okay, X meters. All right, this is so this one will be X. So this will be X. This will also be X. Okay. So the area of the path in terms of A, B, and X. Area of the path. So that's the big one, the big red rectangle. So your width becomes A plus 2x. I mean length. This is your length. And your width becomes B plus 2x. Okay. Look at that. It's always 2 bits of x. And if you have noticed, you might have noticed I used the brackets for each one because length A plus 2x is your length. That's an entire concept, the whole concept. So please make sure to include bracket. All right, area equals that. It didn't ask you to factorize, expand it, okay? So that'll be it, okay? A equals 2x, we usually write x in front, 2x plus A and 2x plus B. And you don't have to expand it. It didn't require you to expand it. All right, now, if A equals 28 and B equals 50, find the area of the path in terms of x. Okay, so area of path would be 2x plus A times 2x plus B. So 2x plus 28 and 2x plus 50. All right. Yeah, okay. With this one, once again, the question does not require you to expand the brackets, so you don't have to do it. It's okay for you to do it, but you have to expand it correctly, otherwise you will be marked down. However, that doesn't mean we don't need to simplify, okay? Because look at these 2 and 28, 2 and 50, they're common factors. We need to take out the common factors. So take out the 2 from the first bracket, we have x plus 14. I take out another 2 from the second bracket, we have x plus 25. Of course, 2 times 2 will make it 4. That'd be your area in terms of x when A equals 28 and B equals 50. Okay, next one. If the area of the path is 160 square meters, find the value of x. So area becomes 160. That's equals 4 bracket x plus 14 and x plus 25. Okay, now simplify. 160 divided by 4 give you 40. Okay. All right. Now, since we're trying to solve this and there's a 40 here, so we need to expand the bracket, x squared, and then plus 16x plus 25x. So in total, that's 41x. Did I do it right? Yeah, 41x, and then plus 16 times 25. 16 times 25, you might be thinking of using a calculator. No, you don't need to. 16 means 4 times 4. and times 25. 4 times 25 is 100, you know, a bit of associative law, times by 100, that's 400. All right, 400. Okay, let's keep going. 0 equals x squared plus 41x plus 360. Okay, now factor this. To factor this, yeah, check out the last term, 360. Think about two numbers multiplied to get 360 and added to 41. Right. So in this case, well, you might just use a calculator to figure out the answer for us. Okay. So x squared plus 41x plus 360. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Number doesn't look quite right. Yeah, let's have that. 2x plus 28, x plus 14. Yes, x plus 14. My bad. 14. So 14 plus 21, 25, that's 39x. 39x plus. So it will be 39x. Okay. All right. That seems easier. 39 is a multiple of 3, so it looks more reasonable to me. Let's change to 39. 39. Here we go. 24 and 15. Negative 24 and 15. Yeah, negative 24 and negative 15. That's not right. X becomes negative. 360. No, it's definitely no. The answer is a bit wrong. But plus 39, how can you get negative 24? One second. Okay. X squared plus 39. It's plus 39 here. Okay, all right. Definitely made a mistake somewhere. 1 second, guys. 1 second. 2x plus a, 2x plus b. Area would be 2x plus 28. 2x plus 15. Take the 2 out. X plus 15, 14, 4x plus 14, x plus 25. Divide by 4. You have 40 here. X squared plus 14x plus 25x, that's 39x. Okay, the number at the back is not 400. It's not going to be 400. Oh. Go back. Okay, back to normal. So these are 39. Yeah, that's not 400. All right, let me rewrite this. Oops. No, I don't want to move that. Let's rewrite the last. Really hard. Okay. Let's go. 40 equals x squared plus 39x. And 14 times 25. So that's different now. 14 times 25. Let's put in a calculator. 14 times 25. 350. So plus 350. 0 equals x squared plus 39x plus 310. Okay, let me try it again. So 310. Huh. Yeah, 310. 1 second. Definitely made a mistake somewhere. Okay. Right. No, they're all in, okay. Everything all in white color. Thank you, right. All right, here we go. They're all working. Let's read the question again. A meters long and x meters around it. Area of the path in terms. Oh, sorry. I realized something I forgot. That's this is the area of these, including lawn. We need to take out the area of the lawn. That's something we should know. Okay, minus AB. But if that's the case, it's a good idea for us to expand the bracket. 4x squared plus 2ax plus 2bx. So 2a plus 2b bracket x plus ab minus ab. So the final answer will be 4x squared plus 2. Take out the 2 as well. 2 bracket a plus b. X. So these 2 times cancelled. All right. Now this one. Let me remove them. So area was 4x squared. Copying from the previous question, 4x squared plus 2 bracket a plus b x. So a equals 28, b equals 50. So that's 4x squared plus 2 times the sum of 28 and 50. So that's 20 plus 50, 28 and 50 x. So that would be 4x squared plus that's 78 times 2, 156x. Okay. Now the area, let's redo them. So the area becomes 160, 4x squared plus 156x. So 0 equals 4x squared plus 156x minus 160. They're all multiples of 4 divided by 0. 4x squared plus 39x minus 40. Okay, that's much easier because negative 40 is 40 times negative 1. So x plus 40 and x minus 1. Therefore, it's minus 1. Therefore, x should be equal to negative 40 or x equals 1. But since x is the width, cannot be negative, so x equals 1 since x is greater than 0. All right, that's question 6. Question 7. The discriminant of that, so a, b, c. Discriminant equals b squared minus 4ac. So 6 squared minus 4 times 2p times your c is 2. So 36 minus 8 times 2 is 16p. That's your discriminant. Let me double check. I don't want to make a mistake again. 36 minus 4 times 2p times 2. Yeah, 16p. Values p which there are 2 solutions. So when discriminant is greater than 0, there are 2 solutions. 36 minus 16p greater than 0, p is less than 2. No, not 2. Less than 36 over 16. Therefore, P is less than divided by 4, 9 over 4. Okay. No solutions. No solution means x is less than 0. So, what is it? 36 minus 16p has to be less than 0. Therefore, p has to be greater than 9 over 4. Last one, there's only one solution, discriminant equals 0, and therefore that's by observation, you know, that's just 9 over 4. Question 8. Using discriminant show that the graph touches across the x-axis for all values of p. It asks you to use the discriminant, so you don't need to think too much. Just start with finding the discriminant. So that would be 6p bracket square minus 4 times 2 times negative 2. Okay, that's 36p squared. And minus 4 times 2 times 2, that's 16. All right. Okay, you check this number, 36p squared plus 16. All right. Let's take a look at two components. You know, it's got two terms for this expression. First, 36p squared. 36 times the number square, isn't that has to be greater than or equal to 0? Cannot be negative. And then plus 16, that's a positive number. Okay, a number that is non-negative plus another 16, and this number has to be greater than or equal to 16. Okay, in other words, it has to be a positive number. To make it, because we don't. Okay, it's a positive number. So briefly speaking, your discriminant is a positive number, so that's greater than 0. Okay, if your discriminant is greater than 0, we have seen before, that means it's got two solutions, so definitely it's crossed the x-axis. All right, so you can make the statement. It crosses the x-axis. Yeah, simply because the discriminant is greater than 0. All right, next one, question 9. Find the discriminant. Okay, delta equals 10 squared minus 4 times a minus 5. If c is your last term, and last term is an expression, so that would be 100. Take away, expand the bracket, it would be 4a squared plus 20a. So usually we write into standard form. Now a plus 20a, and have your number at the back. All right, so that is your discriminant. B, find the values of a for which the two solutions. So two solutions occurs at discriminant greater than 0. So, and the expression for your discriminant is negative 4a squared plus 20a plus 100. That has to be greater than 0. Okay, when I see the number negative 4, 20, and 100, they're all multiples of 4. What about divide by negative 4 for everything? So this becomes a squared. 20 divided by negative 4 would be negative 5. 100 divided by negative 4 would be negative 25. And 0 divided by negative something. With inequality, dividing by a negative number, you have to switch the sign. You have to flip the inequality sign. All right, now, so this one, 25, negative 25. I can't think of any number multiplied to negative 25 added to negative 5. So we can do either completing the square or quadratic formula. All right, let's do completing the square. So a minus half of the b value. Okay, that's minus 5. So half minus half 5 over 2. I mean half 5. And minus this number, 5 over 2 square minus 25 has to be less than 0. So we've got a minus 5 over 2 square minus 25 over 4. Move everything to the other side. So 25 over 4 plus 25. Make it as 4 with a denominator 100. Okay. less than 125 over 4. Actually, now that's a perfect square, 125. I mean, not saying 100. Okay. Okay, let's move to one side. A bracket 5 over 2 bracket square minus 125 over 4 has to be less than 0. And you know, with inequality, we should always factorize if possible. So minus square root of 125, that's 25 times by 5. So 5 root 5 over 2 bracket square less than 0. Okay, different perfect square. Yeah. Then it would be a minus 5 over 2 minus 5 root 5 over 2 times a minus 5 over 2 plus 5 root 5 over 2. That's 2 less than 0. Okay. So this one is a parabola with a happy face. So something like this. So if you want this is less than 0, you're looking at this bit here. Okay. You know, that's your x1. That's your x2. So you look at the middle part. So a has to be greater than. So using not factor law, right, we need to flip the sign in the bracket. So that's 5 over 2 minus 5 root 5 over 2. Less than 5 over 2 plus 5 root 5 over 2. Okay, and that's our answer. And this, I don't know if you know this, inequality can be solved using a calculator as well. Let's check your answer. -4. Okay, let's use x for a. So square plus 20 x plus 100 has to be greater than 0. Greater than 0. And yeah, that's the answer. They have 35 here. And did I copy the right? Plus 10. No, plus 100. I made a mistake here. Here we go. I've got the answer. Okay. All right. Now C and D will be really quick because we have already found the x-intercept. No solution, so that's the two outward parts. So this one and that one, right? Yeah, no solution is where your discriminant is less than 0. Discriminant less than 0. Yeah. So the complement of this one. So A, you can just state your answer. A has to be less than 5 over 2 minus 5 root 5 over 2, or A has to be greater than 5 over 2 plus 5 root 5 over 2. And last one, find the value of A for which there's one solution. That's easiest. It's just equals 5 over 2 plus or minus. Yeah, that's a discriminant equal to 0. All right, guys. So that's everything for your learning activities. Yeah, I hope you understand most of them, and feel free to let me know if you have more questions. Thank you very much.